Okay, nice. Adele, maybe you want to say something this week? Start.
I want to say that I'm happy. I'm thinking about having some requirements to join the call, like wearing a Madara shirt like me or something like that, or having an NFT of Madara. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm happy. A lot of people coming, so very excited about it. Many interesting topics today to cover. So yeah, let's go.
Perfect. So I will start by sharing my screen. Up. Is it okay?
Yes.
Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to Madara discussion and let's start with our community call. So the main thing for our community call is to close the previous sprint, do a little bilan, and then start the new one. So I will start with this, present like a bunch of issues that will be available this week and for the next 2 weeks. And then we have a few demo or at least a few talk. I don't know if there is anything to demo really because those projects are kind of early, but it will be an announcement at least. So regarding the previous sprint, so here we have what has been done, the issue we were able to close. And here it's a bit empty because most of what wasn't finished, I put it in the next sprint or in this other category of issues. Basically, the main focus, if you remember, was to start having a test suite in Rust and then fixing a lot of things in the CI and also a few bugs. So we did this. I want especially to thank Pragma team about their huge research on this issue. We had this problem where if we don't put weight, we don't use the weight system of substrate, which is used to measure the execution time, we could end up with blocks which are too big and be exposed to some attack. And they did an incredible job to testing the few hypotheses we had and come up with this great document which sum up everything. It's in discussion, in Madara discussion. I can't stress enough for anybody which is curious about this matter to go and read it. So we now have a plan of action, which is a great thing. And on the other side, there has been like multiple road. So for the Rust end-to-end test, multiple have been written, tested. We're starting to have a small library which will allow us to test any StarkNet implementation, at least for the RPC part. So it's taking some time, but we had a few contributors on this, which is great. And most of the park actually wasn't recorded there because there has been other pull requests, other work done outside of the sprint, but it's still on the release I just did this morning, which is here. So here we have a little bit of everything which was achieved for the past week or 2 weeks, at least since we added the changelog. We had this nice feature, which is Genesis loader, which makes much more easy to configure a Genesis state. So if you are interested, you can go see those. And to come back to next sprint, so bravo everybody for the work this week. And for the next sprint, so we try to adjust a little bit because we were under the impression that many people didn't wanted to work on what was in the sprint exactly, and we announced it like being for like the core team and asking for like a commitment on a that. So what we are going to do for the next sprint is still have this, but I kind of shrink it, and so we still have this end-to-end test to fix a few other things, but most of what we maybe want to talk are those issues, which what we did is we go through every issue which was open and picked the one that can be achieved right now. So for anybody who want to contribute, I added this new tag, which is a backlog. So most of what I picked this week is under this tag. And we can see that a bunch of them has already been started. One is event finished. And there is a few interesting things like this one, which is about the new type of transaction for declaring a contract. You have a class hash, and in the transaction you just put the hash of the compiled class, and we have to check it in the runtime in order to be sure that there is no malicious node can create an attack there. We have a really interesting bug that appeared this week about the events. I did a bit of a summary. Basically, I don't think we are emitting the events in the correct order as soon as there is an internal call to other smart contracts. The thing is, first problem, we don't have tests to prove it. So first thing is this issue, which is about improving the test for the emitted event. And I think as soon as somebody writes those tests, he will find out that the events are not emitted in the correct order. So I went up with 2 propositions of implementation. So if somebody wants, he can pick this one. This nice improvement about caching the blocks that are the most often required through RPC.
Can you share a bit about the potential reason for the event ordering? Because I think it's an interesting one.
Yeah, sure. So the idea is that the way we do it in our implementation of Substrate is that we will execute the transaction, and at the end we get a call info structure which contains a bunch of things, and internally it contains like the fee that was charged, different stuff, but also the struct which is call execution and which contain a vec of order read event. Order read event is this struct. So there is the number of the event inside the transaction and the event itself. And the idea is that you, in a call info, so in a call execution, you can be sure that they are sorted in increasing order. But the thing is that if internally, like here we call contract 1, it emits the first event, then it calls contract 2, contract 2 emits event 2, then we exit contract 2 and come back to contract 1, which will emit event 3. And what we will end up with is that in the call info, we will get event 1 and 3, and it has another structure internally, which is inner calls, which is an array of calls to other contracts. And this inner call, it contains other call info, which themselves have their own event and their own inner call, which means that if we explore them recursively, we will be able to reconstitute like the whole event in the right order. But currently, what we do is we will emit all the events in the first call info. So we will emit event 1 and 3. Then we will explore the inner calls. And inside the inner call, we will find the call info for the contract 2. And we will find the event 2, and we will emit this one after event 3. So it's a bit messed up there. So yeah, it's an interesting edge case. And so there is 2 propositions of implementation. I don't really know which is better. One is simpler than the other, but it's probably less optimized, but we will have to benchmark it to be sure. Another thing which is interesting and which is linked to StarkNet architecture is the estimate fee. So in order to, like, the thing is, if you send a transaction to a node for an estimate fee, you will have to sign it. And so if you sign it, the node will be able, if you want, to submit it as a true transaction on the network, even if you want it just to simulate it. So the way we StarkNet avoid this is that for estimate fee, the version number of the transaction is the actual version number. So it will be 1 or 2. plus this value, which is like multiple millions, I don't know, a lot. And this way, the signature will be changed and the node won't be able to publish it on the main network. Currently, we don't enforce this on estimate fee. So it could be a vulnerability. So it's not that many things, it's just a few assertions to do, but it will fix a huge vulnerability. So it's interesting. Yeah, there is this one which was opened by Abdel long time ago. Basically, we have tests for palette, but not tests for the runtime crate. And it could be interesting to do. It's more for somebody a little bit advanced. Abdel added a link to like what Moonbeam is doing. So the thing is, with the palette test, we are testing one palette behavior, and it's more about like the business logic inside like a mocked environment. The idea with the crate runtime test is that it will test all the palettes together in an environment which is not mocked anymore, but which is the actual one. So there is use for it. I invite you to try it. Oh, and this one. Right now we don't have like a really good support for layer one handle transaction events. And one of the things is that the actual implementation is supposed to look on layer one how much the user which created the event on layer one has paid. And according to this, is authorized to use like that many computation on layer two because he already paid for it on layer one. Right now it's open bar. You can there is no check. You can use as much as you want. So it will have to be fixed. And that's it. There is another bunch which is in progress. So for anybody which is interested, I think we have some fairly advanced one, but also some simpler. There is also this tracking issue that for now, Lana is working on it, but I think it's something that is easily like reproducible and it's really repetitive between different repository. Basically, we derive, encode, and decode on all of our forks, and the way we did it is not optimal. So the idea is that Lana will do it perfectly for one repository, and then maybe she will be able to help other contributors to reproduce this on other repositories. So it will be a good way to learn stuff about like the crate we use and also the encoding and decoding with the scale codec algorithm. So yeah, that's it for this sprint. Is there any question? Do you want does somebody want to add something, to know more about some issues? I see no hand being raised. So let's move. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had like one thing. I was seeing that the bot that we have that automatically closes issues and marks them as stale. So I saw like 2-3 times it closed issues which I felt were like important. They weren't picked till now, but like there were important issues which like if we missed, then it would be difficult later. So like, do we really need the bot right now? Or is like, should we configure it to increase the time or something?
Yeah, I think what happened is that if there is no activity at all on an issue, after 1 week, it will be set as stale. And after one other week, it will be marked as closed. And I saw multiple times you asking to reopen those issue. And that's totally right. Thank you for doing this. Maybe we should change the behavior of this bot on this specific thing, because it will end up like marking as solved stuff that are like still there. And it's a little bit, you are right.
We can just remove the workflows. Those are not done through bots. Those are with GitHub workflows that are in the CI. We can just remove them. I agree we should do that only manually because we can miss some important stuff. So we can just remove the 2 workflows that flag the issues. Yeah, within activity.
So actually, I have an opinion on that. I think we still should mark them as stale.
But not close it.
Close them. but at least marking them as
Yeah.
stale, so for us to know that if it's important, yeah, we should look at it and then unstale them. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
that's it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was just
so
thinking something.
let's move forward. I think the next thing we have on the list is for Radius team to say a few words or present something about the encrypted mempool they want to build for Madara.
So they said they can't this week and they will do it next time. Yeah. So we can move to the next one.
Okay, that one was fast. So next one is the odd stuff implementation. So the idea is that right now we are using the default consensus algorithm, which is shipped with a substrate chain. It's Babe and Grandpa, and it's built in two parts. So there is the block production, and there is the block finalization. The idea is that the node will keep producing block, and from time to time, they will get together and vote on one of the forks. So if there is a fork, they will select one. You can have different strategy, but the default one is the longest chain. And then they will finalize the state of the chain and then start again. It's required in order to use Polkadot as your layer 0. Yes, Aura and Grandpa. Yeah, you are right. And it's required for Polkadot to use Polkadot at layer 0, but it's not at all required for us. And the thing is, our finality is the commitment on layer 1. So this is a true finality for us. So it doesn't really make sense. So what we think we should probably achieve is some consensus algorithm with instant finality for our layer 2, and then the true finality. So the idea is that as soon as your block is produced, it's the official one, so there is no fork. And it makes a lot of sense for provable layer 2, the validity layer 2, the one we have. To give you an idea, the Starkware team for Starknet, they will most likely use Tendermint as their consensus algorithm when they start to decentralize the node. So what we want to offer is like for the different Madara chain to use the one they think is the best. So we put this team onto working on the odd stuff implementation. So if they want to share this with us, it will be really nice.
Yeah, Web3MQ team, are you there? Oh yeah, I see Luke. Okay.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry, my video is not working that well. Yeah, I could share a few just for like 10 minutes or so. Can I share a screen? All right. I think this is working. Yeah, and I guess Timothy just gave half of the overview, but real quickly, I guess you know, why we're doing this initiative, not just us, but Madara together, right? I guess the number one objective is to figure out how to do new consensus mechanisms. Like hot stuff is nice, but there's also other ones like Bullshark has its own good properties, and then whatnot. So yeah, first of all, I think it's really nice to figure out how to do these things in Substrate. It's not very plug and play, TLDR. It's pretty messy, by the way. But yeah, so trying to figure that out and how to do that systematically. And then two, hot stuff is generally pretty nice. It's good. We want hot stuff available on Madara. So that's kind of the two key objectives here. One, really quickly, I guess Timothy also gave the real quick brief overview around hot stuff, but it has some really nice properties. I guess somewhat it's like this seminal piece of work around like the newer consensus mechanisms. A lot of what Facebook has been doing stemmed off of hot stuff, even though they weren't the ones that invented it. You know, summing up its good qualities, it's relatively simple. It's pretty streamlined. Most of the communication costs and whatnot are very linear, so it scales very well. Tendermint scales slightly less better than hot stuff, but still good. And then also what's really important, I guess, for hot stuff and similar families is this property called responsiveness, meaning it's very easy to predict the finality latency. So Tendermint still also has instant finality, but when network conditions get bad, it gets slightly harder to have this prediction on, how does the finality get affected and whatnot. So these good properties, and then also, of course, instant finality, that is like a very big difference that a lot of the simpler consensus mechanisms don't have. So that's that. And yeah, and also just since this is a community call, I'll just do a really quick, like 2-minute intro of how hot stuff works very briefly. In practice, it's a little bit more complicated than this, but to get the idea, basically it's leader based. So leaders rotate. Now within each epoch or each view, as is the hot stuff terminology, the leader proposes a block or some other proposition to a community of validators. And since it's a blockchain, the validators run simulation logic or whatnot. And if they think it's valid, well, they'll vote with a quote unquote prepare vote, meaning, okay, we think this new block is legit. And they hand those votes back to the leader. And generally in hot stuff, there's like a certain threshold that you have to reach to get votes, like say a third or 2/3. And then after that threshold, well, that particular vote is considered valid. And then after that, well, the leader will then send these pre-commit messages to validators saying that, hey, let's start committing this. Everybody thinks this is valid. And if people have a question, if the block isn't valid, the validators simply don't vote, and so you don't get the valid number of the required number of valid votes. And then so this stage kind of ends, and then it moves on to the next view. If there's a problem with the block that's being proposed, like say if the leader is a bad leader. And so after that, the validators come back with pre-commit votes, and then the leader then deems it a valid final commitment, and then sends that out to validators, and validators will build blocks on top of that. So it's basically 3 stages of messaging from the leader to the validators, and that finalizes things. So the whole process is generally, the macro is relatively simple. Of course, there's technicalities involved in actually implementing it, but yeah, that's very quick general how hot stuff works. And so that was the very quick sharing, and also how we're approaching this. So on one hand, we're dissecting the current substrate consensus. It's not super decoupled in an ideal way, but we're cleaning that up. Also producing some documentation along with that. 2 is right now. I'm sorry. I thought there was a question. Sorry. And then 2 was. Is there somebody asking a question or?
No, I think it's. I will mute.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not the host. Can you mute? Timothy? Oh, no, that's fine.
It's already muted. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. And so second is what we're trying to do is there are certain parts of the key processes that are somewhat baked into to like the original ARA and Grandpa implementations, but what we're trying to do is to take those things apart and then put the key parts of hot stuff, design slight interfaces, and glue them together. So that's probably how we'll get the first version running and working. And so that's kind of 2, and then 3, of course, testing, normal load tests and whatnot. And then also there's people that have mentioned like Byzantine node simulations. Twins testing is a form of that. It's actually a pretty sadistic way of testing, but that also is something that I think later on we should implement to make sure that things are rigorous and good to go. And also doing a real brief share. Generally, most of the consensus mechanisms are in these two crates in Substrate. But
Can you zoom a bit, please?
Yes, I guess I'll. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll try to share this also to everybody in the group and whatnot, along with more text. This is just a quick brief overview. This is how Grandpa works, or at least how we've dissected and analyzed their execution logic. We'll share this out later on if people find there's inconsistencies with how it actually should be. Feel free to reach out to us. But this is how we find Grandpa runs in the default Substrate implementation right now. So dissecting that, and we're hoping to produce some nicer documentation for these consensus crates, so that one for us, but also for other people, it's easier to know what these things are doing. Two, also in terms of merging the hot stuff with Substrate part, generally the way we're trying to approach this right now is relatively there's good parts that are already somewhat separated. Like say the networking logic is pretty separate. The block producing logic, Substrate has that already. And then also Aura already has a leader rotation logic, so that can all be reused. The only part that probably needs to be fully re-implemented is the voting process, the three-phase voting process. So that's something that's going to be key. Finalization, there's some equivocacy there because technically hot stuff doesn't need finalization, like extra finalization after the process ends, because it's instant finality. But Substrate does have its own mechanism of like determining forks. The way they've designed their consensus process is it's like a two-step process. One is the proposal, and two, they call it finalization, which means if there are forks or inconsistent kind of lengths of chains or whatnot, there's somewhat of a process there.
Last time we, just to comment on that, last time we talked with Parity, they said that those are not mandatory. You can skip one of them. I don't remember, but I think you could do everything on the block production logic, and we consider all block finalized by default, or the opposite. But they said that those steps are not mandatory. And if you have instant finality, you can merge them in one step. Yeah. Yeah.
So like theoretically, if hot stuff works, and you've followed hot stuff as you should, there shouldn't be things like forks where you have to determine that. But generally, so voting logic is something that we have to implement from the ground up. But the other modules, block producing, and then leader rotation, whatnot, we'll probably use the parts of Aura and Grandpa that are already there. Actually, most of it is in Aura. And so that's kind of the overview right now. We'll clean this up a little bit more and then try to also publish the interfaces that we think will solve the problems. As we mentioned, we do want to make this more collaborative. We do have 3 engineers working on this with a good amount of commitment, but we do also want to make this collaborative. So first step towards that is we think publishing the interfaces might be a good way. So if other people want to build too, so that's kind of in a gist where we are. Haven't implemented testing designs yet, but that's also something that next 2 weeks we think should be implemented or designed out. And that's a general where we are right now.
I want to say that it's very cool and very important work you are doing, and I think it will be very useful for others to integrate different consensus mechanism. And also it's very public good work because you can document everything, because it's true that Substrates lack some very deep explanation on how to implement a custom consensus. So not only I think those documentation would be helpful, but even your implementation can be, I think we can contribute back to Substrate once we have something that we can, so that other parachains and Substrate chains can take it as plug and play. And very cool.
Yeah, just to add on that, so you were talking about testing. Actually, we have some tasks on our side for improve the testing of the networks, and I think we actually might work on that together to improve the
Yeah.
testing of the networks. Not only the consensus bit, but the remaining part of the P2P stuff. We might want to implement that together.
Yeah, that sounds
Hey.
good. Yeah, I'd love to get in
Yeah.
touch about that.
Yep.
Sure. Hey, Fede.
Yep.
Good morning, Fede.
Hello. I joined late to the call, so I didn't see the first part. I have a question that you might have already answered. Are you implementing host stuff completely by your own, or are you using one of the implementations like Sonino or something like that?
I think we'll have to re-implement around 70% of it. There's some implementations, GitHub repos. Abdel provided one. That one I think is the one that we're going to use as the baseline.
It's Sonino.
This is the
It's
one from
Sonino, by the way.
Sonino. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on the second question is, have you looked at the improvements over hot stuff, or if this is like the base, I don't know what, like the vanilla hot stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, obviously there's already been quite a few flavors. Facebook has made a few different flavors that have better properties. But for now, I think we want to implement the baseline one and then to go from there. Yeah.
Amazing. We're using hot stuff in our stack. So if Abdel, I don't know what you think, but I think there's a lot of potential collaboration. I don't know if you know, look what who I am or what we're doing, but we are doing something different than Madara, and we're already using hot stuff. So
yeah,
we might be able to use some parts of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw in your repo that your implementation was based on Sonino. That's why I sent the repo. Yeah. Definitely a lot of collaboration possible. Yeah, on that front.
On great work, Luke, by the way.
Thank you. Yep.
Perfect. So next thing will be Celestia, somebody from Celestia, which is a data availability layer, presenting the work they did at the hackathon. So first we will say a few words about what is data availability and why does it matter for substrate and validity rollup. So Ben, if you can say a few words, is the guy in the team which is taking the ownership with and managing the different work we are doing with the different data availability solution. So cheers to.
By the way, it's a very hot topic. I don't know if you saw on Twitter, Donkrat from the Ethereum Foundation, who tweeted that all rollups that are not using Ethereum for DI are not layer 2. So there are a lot of hot discussions right now happening about whether or not a rollup can be considered layer 2 if not using Ethereum as data availability. So it's very interesting, and the fact that Starknet, we plan to have volition, which gives the choice for developers to choose their DA. It makes things even more complex because it's not binary, it's not a Validium where everything is not Ethereum DA, and it won't be all Ethereum DA, so it will be very hard to classify the rollup. So it's a very interesting topic. Yeah, please go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, sure. So I'll start with validity rollup. One of the guarantees that a validity rollup has is that a third party can come in and recreate the state of your L2 based on information that's available on L1. So the way that we do that is that we run a program called the Starknet OS that's written in Cairo, and we execute the block against the current state of Starknet, and that outputs these data availability program outputs, basically saying this storage slot was migrated from this value to this value, and that gives a third party the ability to recreate the state of Starknet L2. Like Abdel said, there's many different takes on this. So a volition is a bit of a hybrid mechanism where you have your data available somewhere else, but it still gives you have some data availability guarantees that are up to you, the operator. You might not need the entire security that the L1 of Ethereum provides, and so you can use something like Celestia And you're going to get a much cheaper to operate L2. Yeah. So what we're trying to do, there's currently 3 PRs right now, and it sounds like the Celestia folks are going to go over theirs. So I won't go over that too much. Avail is also doing one that's in the similar vein. So a lot of the business logic looks like the Celestia PR as well. And then mine, which is Ethereum, which again looks the same. So what we're working on, we had a breakout session yesterday, is unifying a common interface between those 3 PRs, and basically getting it so that you can initialize Madara in any DA mode you want. DA mode being Celestia, DA mode Avail, DA mode Ethereum, and then DA mode eventually Ethereum Volition or Ethereum Validity.
Any question on this, or is it more or less clear for everybody? Federico, you have a...
I don't know if the presentation is finished. I have 2 questions.
The
No, go ahead.
presentation didn't
Did not
start.
start. Yeah.
It's only the intro. Okay, I didn't know. Sorry, I don't know.
Please go ahead.
I can
Yeah,
ask.
you can-
I was asking.
Yeah,
Abdel.
yeah.
So I have a question that I swear God it's not badly intentioned. I always wanted to ask it about Celestia. I think the paper by Mustafa is amazing. I think it's one of the best papers on the core idea of data availability is amazing. My only question or concern is what happens if Starknet or other L2s, or let's put Starknet in this case, implements the same technology? Why us or a developer would prefer to use Celestia? What's the biggest advantage? This is coming without any bad blood or intention.
That's a very good question. Do we have someone from Celestia who wants to tackle it, or?
I hope so, because they are supposed to present something.
No. The guy presenting is not from Celestia. Those are 2
okay.
different tracks. The people
Okay.
who built in the hackathon are not the same. Okay, I can give then my opinion. I think it's a very good question, actually. Especially because ultimately you can say, okay, why would I use Celestia if Starknet, for example, has the biggest market cap and biggest economic securities on the consensus of the L2? Part of the answer could be that Celestia is specialized to do only that, and it's because it does not execute anything. It just receives data and makes sure they are published and gives ways to verify the inclusion. So I think the answer might be about specialization. Something that has a single responsibility and does only that. But yeah, it's not an easy question, to be honest, because again, if the security guarantees of the consensus of Starknet are higher in terms of security costs, what would be the point of using Celestia?
The other alternative, it's a Celestia versus Volition. This is the alternative.
So yes, because okay, with Volition we will have multiple DA solution. The first one will be only L2 data. That means that you have only the guarantees of the full node that gossips the data, and that's it. So the question from Fede is this only could be sufficient and even potentially more secure than Celestia? And it's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I have no answer, but that's my take. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah. Okay. So, Michael. Michael? No, who? No, sorry, it's not Michael.
Ben?
Who is going? No, I don't know. It's not Ben. Who was going to present the work for the hackathon? I don't even remember. Sorry. Does anyone remember? No? Okay, maybe the person is not here. Okay, no worries. It was the last item in the agenda. We can go freestyle then. Okay, we can go freestyle. We can do a freestyle session. Oh, by the way, Fede, I have a question for you. Can you share your opinion about the hot topic regarding the latest paper from Snark's fanboys?
Yes, I was laughing because I was sure you were going to ask that.
Yeah.
So I have 3% battery. If I die, give me 1 second so that it doesn't die. But
Okay.
give me 1 second so I can think and run. But the short of it is, first of all, I have a methodological, very aggressive methodological critique to how they work. I can put that on Twitter. I can put it everywhere. I will say 20 times. Computer science is not computer engineering. Speaking about performance, taking into account only complexity theory, it's fucked up. It's completely fucked up. Things that seem faster on a paper are slower many times in concrete real systems. You cannot do performance analysis without code. Papers are not code. One example of what has happened, and I'm not saying that this is the case, with the paper of the superconductor, is that no other person could replicate it. So in the case of mathematics, it's a little bit easier because you only need to check, you don't need to do an experiment. You need to check that the paper is correct. However, the paper can be correct, and then you can take that into a real computer and it doesn't work. So that's my first critique. I'm tired on they do mention, like I can share my screen and say like the KRBM, blah, 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 blah. So if they only wrote a paper saying, okay, I believe this is faster, I wouldn't be so pissed off. Or not faster. I would say like if they write something like this has this complexity theory, that's fine. The issue is that they mixed up that with concrete real things. I'm not even saying that they're not right. I'm just saying methodologically, you cannot say something is faster without having run it. Like it doesn't make any sense. For me, it doesn't compile. It's not scientific. It's incorrect. And I will say that 20 times. I already know that those people, they don't like me at all. They don't like how I express myself because we have a very different background.
They don't like Starkware too. Like this guy is from A16Z.
I don't think that the Tyler is a very smart guy, but he hates the stacks on Fry. They have a political agenda on it. I don't hate them. I actually like a lot of the work they have done. I had discussed this with Starkware. Actually, I approach ideas from Nova to Starkware. So I feel that they put me in the camp of Starkware employee on Stack Maximalist. And for me, it's even before that discussion. I'm sure stacks can be improved. To be completely honest, I'm not sure Fry or is the end go. Maybe there's something better, but the general ideas behind stacks are going to be correct, like transparent, scalability. Maybe the system can change a little bit more. But what you cannot do is discuss things based on politics and marketing. I don't know, they did something that I believe is shitty. I'm not the person that writes papers, but the paper says like something like the amazing properties of Nova. Like, come on, you wrote the people that wrote this paper are the same people that are writing the other paper. It's like the Obama meme. Do you know the Obama meme where some like Obama is putting a golden medal to Obama? Have you seen that? You cannot. It's like let's imagine I create the KRBM in Go and I write no, like the amazing KRBM of Lambda class. Like, come on, that's a little bit fucked up. That's like. So the short story I have is that that's on the methodological side. On the technical side, what they're proposing, for those that don't know, they're proposing using also this is the issue also. It's not only them. This is the Ethereum Foundation too. Like the Ethereum Foundation has a very concrete concerns with stacks and critics that I think that are completely at the beginning I thought they were mistaken. Now I see that it's more a human thing. On they have some disagreements on the personal level or like the company level rather than on the scientific level. They're trying to push to use lookup tables for everything. So it's a type of lookup tables are a type of speed up done on snarks and pooling systems, especially when you need to do bitwise operations or hashing or things that are not completely fast in CK. So in our world, it's not the same thing, but it's not in any way the same thing, but it's like built-ins. It's like you speed up an operation with a preprocessed table. That's memorization. Like you're computing something and you're changing it for storage. The issue I have is that believing that you can do that for everything, I don't know. I have skimmed the paper. We had a call. I have looked into the code of the first. There's two systems. I have checked the first system. I'm. They already said like, Fede, you don't have the ability to understand this so fast. I'm sure I don't have it. But there's something called experience. I don't have any ego, and I can be wrong. I'm open, and I will do it in the next few weeks. I will openly bet that this won't work. I'm completely sure it won't work. I'm 100% sure. That said, it is useful for a few cases. So the short story is like, I believe there's a lot of politics. I don't, to sum up the TLDR, I don't think that there's an issue with Thaler on the Trinab. I think is his name. Sorry if I'm saying it incorrectly. I have dyslexia.
I think there is an issue personally, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. That's not my view.
I don't like him at all.
My issue is the Ethereum Foundation. The Ethereum Foundation, as the Standard Foundation, should be independent. They should be
neutral,
not in favor of one particular system. Not even
neutral. Yeah,
they should be more neutral, and they should deploy capital to have the system develop. So I feel that there's a clear group of people, A16Z. I can say this. I just spoke with the CTO on Twitter. This is one of the reasons I don't raise capital, because I want to speak freely. The CTO of A16Z, I spoke. They're very nice people. I like them. To be honest, I really like them.
Fede, I'm really sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to throw in a little bit of what Abdel refers to a human touch. The thing is that I really wanted to say welcome to a couple of new people that I see here in the call that are actually my former teammates from delivery services in Parity. And they're both very experienced with Substrate. And I know that they got to jump off the call, which is why I wanted to make sure that they just have an opportunity to maybe say a couple of words, say hi, and then run off. And then Fede can continue. Sorry, sorry for the interruption.
No worries. I think Fede left, but no worries. It's right. So yeah, warm welcome. If you want to say hi, and we are very happy to have you in the community. I'm sure you will have many opportunities to
Joran, Daniel, are you guys still here?
Yeah, I'm here. I see Daniel's
hi.
Yeah. Yeah, just being a fly on the wall, kind of getting to know what you guys are doing here. It's cool to see Substrate being used outside of Parity. Like I just came out of the bubble, so I'm kind of gasping for air and looking around and seeing what else is out there. So it's nice to see you guys building with the tech, and I'm here to see where I can help out as much as I can.
Amazing, man.
So hello everyone, I'm Daniel Bigos. I was working together with Lana. I'm super happy to be introduced to Madara. It sounds super interesting. I haven't had enough time to go through your stack, but it sounds really interesting. I think I will be having some time next week. I'm looking for new issues to add some stuff for me, and yeah, looking forward to work with you guys.
Awesome.
It will be amazing to have you, especially I think with a project like WebPrimeQ, which are trying to implement odd stuff for Substrate. So there is not that much integration with Starknet especially, but it's really something which is Substrate heavy. So having people like you who know the framework really well, it will save everybody a lot of time, and we can all benefit from your experience with the framework. So thank you very much for your interest.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Let me know about that stuff, maybe on Telegram and stuff like that.
Yeah, at some point I was about to ask, do we know any of the Parity guys?
Yeah, we know a few of them now. Okay,
Cool.
Fede left.
Yeah.
Good job,
No,
Lana.
No. So Fede told me that he had a meeting now.
Yeah,
so
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
so,
He's not upset at all. Just to be clear.
yeah, he's not upset at all. He just needs to
Yeah.
go because he had another meeting. No worries.
Yeah. We have Sam. Sam, you want to say hi? I'm happy that you are there. Sam?
I gotta say, Sam's puns in the comment section are killing me. We need him on every call.
Yeah, definitely. I like his funny touches. Oh, he tries to add funny touches at least, but FedEx, yeah. Sam, are you there?
You are mute. I don't know how. No, it's you are not mute, but your mic doesn't work. That's
Yeah,
more it.
we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, yes, we can.
Oh, wonderful. No, I just wanted to say hi to all of you guys, and it's my first Madara community call. So yeah, I'll make it a ritual. I'll try to come to the next ones, and that's pretty much it. I look forward to this, and yeah.
Can you please intro a bit what is Not Guardians? Because I think also there are some synergies we can do, build some quests for Madara, stuff like that. So
yeah, there is
Absolutely.
a lot of people joining Madara and wanting to contribute, which are fairly new to blockchain or to Rust or even to Starknet or Subspace. So I really think Not Guardian can play its role there.
yes.
Yeah, well, I'm humbled by this introduction. I'll try to make a small presentation that lives up to it, but pretty simple. Node Guardians is platform that caters to seasoned programmers and security researchers. It covers Solidity and the Cairo stack so far, and it kind of looks like a role-playing game. You log in with your Web3 wallet or your GitHub, and you have to solve lore-rich programming challenges called the quests. It covers like various design patterns and aspects of different programming languages, and it's highly gamified. But if you're not really into the whole gamification kind of thing, you can just skip the whole story and go with the technical description. And I think it's an interesting thing because once you complete the quest, you get some kind of proof of skill that you can use to access to meaningful opportunities. It could be a job, or it could be something to legitimate maybe your position as a potential contributor on an open source repository. A lot of it is totally free to use, and we're trying to build this with the community. So if you have also some idea to make the platform better, we're always on Discord. Every engineer at Node Guardians is a community manager, so we would love to hear from you. And that's pretty much it. It is live, as I said, on Solidity, Cairo, and we'll start dabbling with systems programming languages. Rust is on the roadmap, and other zero-knowledge domain-specific languages are queued up. And if you also happen to travel and would like to meet, we also have an interesting community. It's like, you start as a scholar, then you become a mage, a high mage, no obligations. We never send you emails and all that kind of crap. And yeah, we have some kind of meetups all around the world and hacking sessions and an agenda for open source. So yeah, would love to meet all of you, and I look forward to the rest of that call.
Amazing, Sam. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Perfect. Is there any more surprise invitee? We would like to.
I see some new people. I think some people from Starknet Africa. I see someone we helped recently, Face. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself. There is God Power. I would be happy to hear from you guys. Always happy to see new faces. So if you want to say hi.
Hello, everyone. Faith Roberts from Nigeria.
Nice.
Yes, I'm a Solidity developer. I just started my Cairo development about a month ago, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yes. I started learning Rust like 1 week before I bumped into Cairo. So it's amazing. Yes, the speed it gives for the applications you build on it. It's very amazing, and yeah, I would love to be a master in the field.
Nice, very cool. Did you talk to Louis or not?
Yes, I wanted joining the group, and he talked to me about the why I came, and I explained and all that, and I'm part of the beneficiaries of the Stackware grant for
nice.
Cairo. Yes. Thank
Congrats.
you so much.
Yeah, And yes, she tweeted. Someone is asking if you tweeted because it's a meme.
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I
you did actually.
tweeted it. Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I remember you tweeted about your first adventures with Cairo and how you solved some issues. And as Lana said, yeah, more girl power. That's very cool, actually. I'm ready for diversity, more girls, more people from Africa.
Yes.
I'm African myself too. I am French and Moroccan. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. Okay. Thank you and welcome. God Power, you want to say hi?
Hey, hello everyone. I'm Godboy. I'm a blockchain engineer. I'm a contributor at Bureaus. I contribute to Bureaus, and I'm interested in contributing to Madara. So I picked up an issue a while ago, but I think it was a bit too much. So I'm just trying to use the substrate tutorial to learn about substrate more, and also try to contribute. So it's nice being here.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria. Yeah,
okay.
and I'm also part of the contributors and tutors at StackNet Africa. So
nice.
Yeah.
And are you organizing some events in Nigeria, StackNet events, stuff like that? If you need help to organize this kind of events, we can definitely help. We need to spread the word in Africa about StackNet. So yeah, if you need help, reach out to us.
Yeah, so we'll actually be at Web3 Lagos. I and my colleagues will be giving workshops on StackNet at Web3 Lagos, which is end of this month. So I think we're already in communication with Stackware.
Amazing.
I think there is multiple people right now in the call that are in the same situation as you, which is doing the substrate tutorial, and it's true that it's kind of a requirement in order to contribute to Madara. So really often we ask you what you guys know, what you guys are familiar with, and we just say you like go do the tutorial. You tell me maybe we could do something is like having a group chat with people that are at this step of their discovering of Madara, so they can help each other in a small community of people doing the tutorial. So I think it could be a good initiative. If you agree, I will create a chat group on Telegram and add the few of you that I know are in this situation currently, but you can also DM me if you want to be part of this, or even if there is like people which are more knowledgeable about substrate but want to help and to be there on this chat group to maybe answer like some recurring question, please DM me and you will join this chat.
Amazing idea, Timothy. Very cool. Okay, who else do we have? Okay, people from Africa. Okay, Fred, we know him. Okay, Gilman. Yeah, Gilman, I don't know, from Radius. Where are you from?
Yes, I'm from Azerbaijan.
Oh, nice. Okay. Are there a lot of devs there?
Actually, no, not really. Not any dev that I know that would be involved in Web3 environment. Yeah, the only person I know is Togol, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know actually that Togol was from Azerbaijan too. Okay, interesting. Okay. Then good, nice to meet you, and yeah, very happy to have you in the.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's nice to contribute.
Yeah. And so yeah, you are working with Radius, right?
Yes, we are working currently on the encrypted mempool project. Yeah.
Nice, very cool. Okay. I saw that Ben was happy that when God Power said that he was a contributor on Beerus, right? You were happy, Ben?
Yeah, easy rules. Very happy to have him on here.
Nice, cool. And we have a lot of people from Lambda class. I see too. Esteban, Aki, Leandro. Yeah, good to see
guys.
you. Yeah. Yeah, please,
Hey.
if you want to say a few words.
No, I would just like to say that it's wonderful to see the community calls growing so large.
Yeah, I'm very happy to. Yeah. Okay. And then we have Osman. I don't know you, I think. If you want to say hi. Okay, no worries. And Tony, also, I don't know Tony.
Oh, Tony, I don't
Hey.
know.
Hey, hello. Yeah, I'm new to this community. I did the last call and I tried to contribute to a really little issue because I'm a student right now, so I don't have a lot of experience either in blockchain or development. So I'm just trying to learn. So I'm doing the substrate tutorial, like, so that's why you're not the only one in this case trying to learn substrate. So yeah, I think the idea of Timothy is really great. I would like to join this group.
Okay, amazing. And you sing French too, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Another French StarkNet dev. Okay, you are not alone, my friend.
You respect the accent.
Yeah. True. Oh, we have Oli also. Oli, come say hi, man. We need some German accents.
Whoa, thank you for the introduction. It's actually a Swiss accent.
Oh,
Swiss
yeah, but it's
Viewers.
more or less the same, yeah.
Yeah. Hi guys. I'm very excited to be here. I'm the StarkNet marketing lead at Starkware, and very excited about Madara. It reminds me like StarkNet like 2 years ago when I joined StarkNet community, and I feel kind of the similar vibes and energy, and it's really nice to see this kind of speed which this group has now already. Really cool.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, by the way, can you take the lead for the translation of the content for Madara?
Sure. The Chinese one is now should be finished, and just tell me, should I create a subgroup, or where should I kind of?
Yeah, it might be cool to create a group for the content creation.
Sure.
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
I can also
Okay.
help on the social media if you want. I mean,
yeah.
I have some experience there, and I can shit post a little bit about Madara.
Oh yeah. Man, actually, I can even give you access to Madara accounts.
Oh, that would be a dream. No, I really would love to do that because I have a lot of ideas and content ready. I'm not sure if the StarkNet main account is ready for that.
Yeah, on Madara One, you can unleash yourself. It's total freedom, no constraints. It's you can shit post a lot. So yeah, was looking for a good shit poster like you. So amazing. And yeah, we have Cheng. Cheng, you want to say hi? Okay. Yeah, that was super cool. Maybe Timothée, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, nothing to add. Just it was a pleasure seeing you, seeing all those new faces. It's really a blast every time. And yeah, I hope to see you in GitHub for the next 2 weeks. I want to see your pull requests, and we will try to help you as much as we can, and to involve to get the newcomer involved. So thank you very much once again for your involvement. It's a lot of involvement.
Thank you. Cœur, comme on dit. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao guys. Bye.